So the PS5 has been announced. We see what it looks like. And it's catering towards the royal market by designing itself after a swan. So that's a thing that happened. I don't know why it went with the Finn design choice. It still looks good. It looks sleek. It looks sexy. It looks clean. It looks pristine. Words that rhyme with clean. But yeah, I like the look of the console. It looks good. I'll have a picture of it somewhere on the screen. But I wanted to talk about some of the games that have been revealed. One that's going to be a major component of the video, but there's two games that have kind of like caught my eye. Like, I think you can guess one of them. Horizon Zero Dawn, the sequel, which I can't remember the name of right now, but that kind of that looks good. Horizon Zero Dawn, I've wanted to play for a long while. I haven't been able to play it yet, but I've been really excited to like get my hands on that game. So the fact that that's getting a sequel, I will probably play it at some point. Demon Souls is getting a remaster. I didn't get to play it the first time around, so now it's getting a remaster. I'll be able to play it because I missed out on the PS3 generation, so I completely missed out on any game that was for that. So any game from that era that can get a remaster, you know, good. That's a win. Ratchet and Clank is getting a new game. I could not be more excited for this. Ratchet and Clank was the series that got me into video games as from like the age of like 6. I started playing like Ratchet and Clank. It was the first games that I ever actually got into. I was like, yeah, I really like this because it's a shooter, but it's not like first person. It's not like it's a platformer, but it's also a shooter. It's also really good, and I don't know why I said, and it's also really good. Like, what does that even mean? And it's really good. It just means that it's really good. And the fact that it's getting a new game, I'm glad that Ratchet and Clank has had the staying power that it's had as like a mascot for Sony. Because it's like, Crash, yeah, it was good on the PS1 and kind of just fell to the wayside. And it got brought back with a remaster. He hasn't had like an original game for a while. He's had 2 remasters that sold well, but they're just remasters. They're not new games. Ratchet and Clank has had a solid line of new games. He's had a movie that I haven't seen yet, but I've heard that it's I've heard it's okay. It's a video game movie. What can you expect from a video game movie? Not a lot. But that movie had a game based on it, which is kind of weird. You got a game based on a movie that's based on a game. That's a bit weird, but hey, yeah, I've been really pleased to see that one of my favorite franchise series of games has been able to have this much longevity behind it. So yeah, I couldn't be more happy that there's a new Ratchet and Clank game. I want to see more. I want to see more on this Ratchet and Clank game. I want to see like gameplay. I want to see like what the PS5 can do with that kind of art style, because it's not a hyper realistic art style. It's more cartoony. I want to see how good they can make a cartoony game look, because there's this other game, Gods and Monsters, which I don't know as much about, and it's not like a thing that I have that built-in like love for, but it still looks good. I'll still probably play it. But Ratchet and Clank has my eye now because it's a franchise that I love. Speaking of other franchises that I love that are getting new games, SpiderMan Miles Morales was probably the biggest surprise of the announcement, of the first wave of announcements. And the fact that it's coming this year, the fact that it's coming like in December time, like November, December time, whoo boy, I am hype because I don't care if it's an expansion, if it's just a smaller game, if it's like released to coincide with the main Spider-Man like trilogy of games, which it probably will be a trilogy. It's sold like hotcakes that are for charity, so it's bound to have a sequel, and this just speaks to the popularity of Miles and how much audiences relate to him and how much they want to be like, we need more representation, not just in the movies, not just in the comics, but in the games as well. We want this all, we want to cover all bases of like the Marvel universe, and we want to cover all bases of Marvel media as well. We want to show that there is inclusivity and not exclusivity with Marvel products going forward, and the fact that they can do that and produce something that looks phenomenal, that will no doubt play phenomenal because it's Insomniac and everything that Insomniac has touched. Because Insomniac also works on Ratchet and Clank, and they'll work on this, and they worked on the original Spider-Man game, which I also loved. So you can see kind of the crossover here. Insomniac is just really good at making games. They've had low points, but we won't talk about those. We'll talk about the high ones. And the high ones, when they're good, they're really fucking good. And Insomniac, with, you know, the Spider-Man license, they've done nothing but give it all the respect that it deserves. And they're working with Miles now, so it's going to be interesting to see how they can take Miles, who has different powers, and they can make that work in this environment. Because obviously, with the whole shocks and the invisibility and everything, there's more of a like opportunity to go with more AoE type stuff. There's more of an opportunity to do with stealth. They can make stealth actually fun in this game, because in Spider-Man PS4, stealth was not fun. Completely remove all the Mary Jane sections. It's going to remove all of the Miles stealth sections, with having Miles be actually Spider-Man, and have like the choice to switch between Peter and Miles as well. That would be fantastic, because you can keep all of the stuff that you did for Peter and you did so well, and you can mesh that in with Miles, and you can have Miles be not necessarily better, but you can have Miles be a different variation on Spider-Man, and I want to see them kind of build up to Miles becoming like confident in being Spider-Man. I don't want him to just be like, as soon as he puts on the suit, be like, yeah, okay, I'm Spider-Man, I know what I'm doing. Because it doesn't feel right. Spider-Man, even now, in the comics, Miles is still very not laid back. He's very not quite sure where he is, because he's still like under the shadow of Peter Parker, which I get because he's still like younger and sees Peter Parker as a mentor, but also like he has yet to fully become his own hero yet. He has his own villains, and it'll be interesting to see, like, obviously Prowler's going to be in it in some capacity. Wilson Fisk is probably going to come back. But it's going to be interesting to see Miles's own villains come into this, because he doesn't have that many. That's the one problem with Miles. He needs more of his own villains. And whether this game creates new villains for him, which is always a bad thing when games create original characters, because it's like because it creates this kind of disconnect from the source material. It's like, I like what they did with Spider-Man PS4, where they brought in Mr. Negative and they built up this kind of D-list, C-list character, and I want them to do more stuff like that with Miles, with the Miles game. That's kind of all I have to say. I do have a quick announcement about what is going to be happening. So I said on Twitter that I wanted to do a charity live stream now that I've got my new headset, and streams as per usual will still be happening every weekday at 9 p.m. and some Saturdays when I have the time to. So probably this Saturday I won't be doing a live stream, but any other Saturday it kind of depends on whether I have the time to. But on Monday, this coming Monday, I will be doing a live stream, charity live stream to support Black Lives Matter charity. The charity that I am going for, I haven't selected yet. I will be making a whole Twitter post, and I'll be doing a load of stuff on Twitter to actually announce what charity I will be supporting. I might even support like multiple charities, but the overall goal will be the same as the coronavirus live stream that I did, £100. If we can make it to that, brilliant. If we can't, we'll have raised some money and had some fun, so also brilliant. But yeah, I need all of you guys right now, everyone watching, go over to my Twitch account, the link will be in the description, and go follow me and get ready for that extravaganza live stream where we're going to be raising money for the Black Lives Matter, because it's something that I really want to do my part with, because I'm really passionate about the subject matter, and I feel like I haven't done enough. I feel like that video that I made a couple weeks ago, where I just sat here and kind of poured my feelings about the whole thing. I feel like that wasn't enough. I feel like I need to actually make some kind of like call to action about this, because there needs to be change, and there needs to be real change real soon, and people in power aren't listening, so we need the right people to promote the right message, and I feel like it's very important that I give as much of an audience to the right people that are spreading the right messages as I can, and keep the wrong messages and people taking this in the wrong direction. Like, I want to kind of steer people away from that and steer people towards people that will actually help. Yeah. So I'll see you guys again on Monday. I won't have a video out tomorrow because it's Sunday and we don't make videos on Sunday, because, you know, Sunday is Sunday. You know, it's a day of rest. I've done like I've done 3 daily videos in a row. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this video off here and see you guys on Monday. Peace.